You step on the scale after a month of hard work, eating clean, exercising, and doing everything right. Yet, the number on the scale barely budged. Disappointment sets in, and you can't help but think, what am I doing wrong? Well, chances are, if you're struggling to lose weight, it's not because you're doing anything wrong. Rather, I see a lot of people who they're falling a victim to a weight loss lie that frankly just needs to die. If you're new to the channel, my name's Lillie. I'm a certified nutrition health coach committed to helping as many people possible find a path to a healthier life. And in today's video, I want to address something that's near and dear to me. I talk about it almost every day with at least one of my clients, as this just seems to be something that comes up when someone's trying to lose weight, which I like to call the self-sabotage, comparison, restriction, all or nothing, perfectionism, burnout, overwhelmment, overachievement, knee-jerk reaction cycle. We're going to call it the scrapbook cycle for short. How this scrapbook cycle usually starts is people will first compare themselves to other people, which I'll be the first to admit, I struggle with this too. I compare myself to people often, and in doing so, this makes me second guess myself. This takes a toll on my emotional and mental well-being, and so I'm not going to pretend that this is easy. It's way easier said than done to not look at what other people are doing. I think my husband is way better about doing this, and so I'm gonna have him come on the end of the video and give his words of wisdom because he always motivates me when it comes to this topic. I love the internet, but also it can skew our reality. I can't tell you the number of times I have had clients who tell me, I only lost 4 pounds this month, or I'm so sorry, I only lost 1 pound this week. I must be doing something wrong. I'm failing. I guess this means I need to cut out dairy, or I should stop drinking diet soda, or I need to start fasting more, or restrict my calories further, because clearly other people online are losing weight so much faster. And this is where my pet peeve with the internet kicks in, which is only the videos that are shocking are going to go viral. The videos titled something like, I lost 10 pounds in a week. That's very abnormal. That's going to go viral. More people are going to want to watch the video that says, I lost 10 pounds in a week versus I lost 1 pound in a week. Boo, boring, I want to lose 10. Only the people who are seeing results are going to leave the comment in the Facebook group. The comments that are left on videos that are very shocking are going to get all the likes. But I promise you, the majority of people who are trying to lose weight are just inching along. They're just very gradually seeing weight loss. Maybe some weeks they even gain some weight back, and that's okay. I should have also mentioned that losing 1 pound a week is an incredibly healthy pace at which to lose weight. If you're seeing people who are losing dramatic amounts of weight in a week, it could be that they have more body fat to lose, but also they could just be crash dieting, cutting their calories dramatically, and losing muscle mass. Rapid weight loss could also lead to lower testosterone, slower metabolism, less energy, poorer sleep, less thyroid function. And so I'm not a huge proponent of let's see who can lose the weight the fastest. I'm more about who can be the healthiest for the longest period of time. Weight loss depends on several factors, including starting weight, diet, exercise, metabolism, overall health. And so I say that there's usually 2 stages of weight loss. The first phase, someone may see more rapid results as they're changing their diet. Maybe they're shedding off some water weight. And so initially, someone may see 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss a week. And this initial phase can last anywhere from 9 to 12 weeks. Then the second phase of weight loss is more where someone has more steady, gradual weight loss, where they may only see 0.5 to 1 pound of weight loss a week. And this phase can last anywhere from 3 to 12 months. Keep in mind, the closer you get to your goal weight, the more weight loss is going to slow down as the body tries to resist losing weight at a certain point once it gets to a healthier, ideal body weight. I consider losing 4 pounds in a month a huge success. And that's the other thing is no matter how much weight you lose, you're likely not going to feel as happy as you thought you would. For example, just the other day, I did have a client who lost 10 pounds in a month and I was like, that's amazing. And his response was, yeah, well, it's not what I wanted. I was expecting more. We always want more. It's never enough. I know it's not as glamorous to say I've just lost 1 pound a week, but it's the compound effect. 1 pound a week times 52 weeks in a year is 52 pounds lost in a year. That's amazing. 52 pounds is life-changing. But in my experience, many people won't get to the 50 pounds in a year because to lose 1 pound a week for a lot of people is not losing weight fast enough. And so what they do is they then start restricting. When we're not reaching our goals fast enough, then we start to panic. In the context of weight loss, often people will restrict more foods, cut more calories, punish themselves more, thinking this is going to speed up the progress. But in reality, this often leads to burnout because people can only restrict so much before it becomes too much, and then they just give up entirely. Not only will people think the answer to faster weight loss is to restrict more, but also that they have to be perfect all of the time. And hey, this is one of those things I'm working on myself. I'm filming this video right now saying, smile enough, but don't smile too much. Blink, but don't blink too many times. Sit up straight, but also look kind of casual. As if I don't have this big bright light coming down on the face. Again, I'm like the president of the I need to be perfect all of the time club, but hot dang, it's exhausting. And then come to find out people would prefer me to just be myself versus try and force perfection. And so when I actually am just being more casual, I see more results and more success. Likewise, when people are trying to lose weight, they often think that they have to eat these specific foods, this certain amount at this particular time, and don't even think about going off plan. And what I tell my clients is, if last year, for 365 days of the year, you were eating whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted, and now this year, for 300 days, you're being a little bit more intentional, and 65 days of the year, it's not perfect, well, in comparison to last year, you're going to see weight loss. You're going to be stepping in the right direction. You're going to become healthier, even if you're not perfect. I just see so many people who think they have to restrict more, have less things. Oh, it's the dairy. And then they just keep taking away foods, when sometimes the answer is we have to even bring more food in or add more variety and just be a little bit more patient. Which again, I'm working on having more patience myself, but we didn't get overweight overnight. We're likely not going to lose all of our weight in 1 week. It's this vicious scrapbook phenomena where we compare ourselves to other people, feel we're not having enough success, fast enough results, therefore we need to restrict more, or we need to punish ourselves, or we're going to judge ourselves, we need to be moving faster, and then we end up leading to burnout, and then this leads us to, again, not seeing results, so then we compare ourselves to other people more, and then it just keeps looping through, and it just kind of drives us bonkers. I promise no matter who you see, whether they're online or in person, everyone has some sort of insecurities, or they feel like they're not enough, or they want to have more, or they're not reaching their goals quick enough. And so this is something that everyone goes through. And for me, something that's really helped is first thing in the morning, I will write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And you can't just think it, you have to physically write it down, feeling the emotion of that thing that I'm grateful for. For example, this morning, one of my gratitudes was I was grateful for one of our really soft blankets and the feeling that it gives on my skin and how happy it makes me, and it feels like I'm really cozy and comforted, and just that feeling is something that I wouldn't ever think about too much, but because in the morning I give myself this time of day where I have to stop and reflect on things that I can be grateful for. There's so many good things in my life, even though they're small things. When I give myself that moment to focus on my gratitude, the energy that fills my body just makes me feel really complete, whole, and full of joy, and it's the best way to start my morning. Now, before we continue and have Bryce give his words of wisdom over here, if you're enjoying the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I want to thank today's sponsor of the video, which is Element Electrolytes. These are a great, really clean ingredient brand for electrolytes with no sugar, no artificial ingredients. These electrolytes provide the body with more sodium, magnesium, and potassium that helps the body stay hydrated. It can help with muscle cramping, eye twitching, fatigue, heart palpitations, headaches. I've personally used these electrolytes every day for many years now, and I personally like the watermelon and raspberry flavor. I also like putting the chocolate in my milk and making myself a milkshake. If you're looking for a clean ingredient brand for electrolytes, there's a link in the video description where you can get 8 free additional packets of all of Element's different flavors with any order, or you can get those 8 free packets by going to the URL drinkelement.com/LillieKane. And now let's bring on the Bryce.
No one's perfect, and I think that is probably one of the things that has enabled me to actually overcome comparing myself to other people, is the whole idea of not needing to be perfect. Social media is so valuable and so great because it allows us to have access to so much information, but at the same time, it also makes us hyper aware of everyone else's lives so easily that you're always going to run into someone that looks better or has more success, or just name it, like that you could find anything that you don't have that someone else has in just a few seconds if you want to in social media nowadays. So that can be very dangerous. You got to be aware of the power of what you're watching, be aware of how you react to it, asking yourself questions like, how does this actually make me feel? This video I'm watching, this content that I'm consuming. My goal is to be happy, loving, grateful, peaceful, abundant, free, and enjoy this wonderful journey of life every single day. If I really truly want that goal, then it is very important what I'm listening to, who I'm spending my time with, and just being very aware of that day-to-day type of interaction, type of habit. When it comes to weight loss, I find a lot of people are very impatient, want to lose weight yesterday, and are very hypercritical of themselves. So how do you stop doing that? It's kind of interesting because it's like you want to care about what you're trying to achieve, but you only want to care so much. You want to care just enough to not disempower yourself. You want to be basically in a state of balance versus too much one direction or too much the other direction. Because if you don't want something enough, you're never going to achieve it. But if you want it too much, then it could drive you crazy, especially if you don't achieve it. It's kind of like that line right in the middle where you want the thing that you're trying to achieve or your goal, but you're also not needing it to happen yesterday and being impatient about it and judging yourself if you don't get it by the time that you think you should get it or achieve it, and just giving yourself some grace, some slack where you don't need to be perfect. You're moving towards an idealistic thing that you would like to achieve, but it's not about getting there today or tomorrow. It's more about the journey, as the journey will change and shape you into the person who you will become. When I was younger, I was the second heaviest kid in my elementary school, and I got bullied and I got teased. I wasn't treated the way that I wanted to be treated. I was judged a lot for how heavy I was. And this really bothered me, and this, so this is an example of the environment really affecting me. And one day I came crying to my dad saying about I was being bullied and I like fat and he helped me lose the weight. I lost it very fast. I was a young kid, not hard to lose the weight, but it seemed like a massive achievement for me. And ever since then, I was really interested in nutrition and working out. So once I achieved this and then I was working out on a regular basis, my friends started to see that I was building more muscle and I was starting to look better. And because of that, they started to want to exercise and they worked out with me at the gym. It was absolutely a comparison game for them, for me. We were all working out together, doing competitions, as in who could lift the most, who had the biggest measurements for arms and shoulders and whatnot. And it was really fun at that time. Like when I look at it, it was an enjoyable, fun thing. But it was also a very competitive thing. It was a thing about comparison and about who was better, who was stronger. I had a different perspective on it than my friends did. They were working out more for vanity, short-term reasons in an effort to get girls, and sure, I partly was doing that, but I was mainly focused on longevity. My thinking was to live to 100 years old. I was thinking about that stuff when I was a teenager. I've been working out 5+ days a week for that entire time since I've been 12 years old. For 25 years I've been doing that. Fast forward to today, most of my friends don't exercise. It's not a consistent ongoing thing that they do just to do it. Our whys are different. Their why was more of their external environment in that moment, and now that environment has changed, they've changed. And mine wasn't about that external environment. Mine truly was more about my own journey, being healthy my whole life. And because of that, when that environment changed, I didn't change. And because of that, I've never lost my motivation to exercise. I was able to overcome a lot of challenges that may have made other people give up. So for instance, I've had a lot more muscle. I used to be 195 pounds, all the way down to being like 140 pounds because of injuries and other health challenges. Being almost 200 pounds and then losing 60 pounds of muscle is mentally hard to accept because It feels like you degressed. And when people degress or they fail, if their why is not strong enough, they tend to quit. So look at your why. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of your environment, of the friends you spend time with, of what you're listening to. Spend time reading the right books. Spend time thinking deeply about what the truth is for yourself, what the truth is in relation to what you're doing, so that you're more accurate on where you're heading and more patient with the results that come. Give everything you can to something, but don't make it define you. Realize that failure is part of life. Failure is necessary. You need to fail, and the more you fail, the better you will become at what you're trying to do. It's that journey, it's that failing that's very, very important in kind of chipping away at who you can become. Place a hard emphasis on how good it is to fail, how good the journey actually is, how great your life is right now. There's absolutely something to be grateful for right now. It doesn't matter where you're at, doesn't matter how many times you failed, doesn't matter how big the goal is. There is a place of love and joy that you can attain right now, and that will be the same love and joy that you will have when you achieve whatever that goal is. So don't put these goals on such a pedestal that they define you. Shoot for these goals, but be aware you're already perfect the way you are.
If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Hope you have a happy day, and I'll see you in the next video.